Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to a new Slay&Shade. If you are new to the Slay&Shade series, it's essentially me just putting on makeup, sharing my opinions on other people, brands, things, especially other YouTubers. So today we're going to be talking about SSSniperwolf, whose real name is Leah, and that's what I'll be referring to her as throughout the rest of the video. I love the name. It's very beautiful. And yeah, so let's get started. So far, I went in with the Lancome Tinte Dual. I love this. I went in with the Tarte Shape Tape. Oh, I also used this Stay Matte Rimmel Primer. I actually really like this. It's very good. Like, I know I'm going to be outside today. It's very good for like oil control, especially around your T-zone. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I did. Oh, I tight lined with the Maybelline Skinny Precise liner, and I'm gonna go in with the Derma Blend translucent powder under my eyes. And I was gonna use the BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette, but when I went to grab it, I was just like, oh, I think I'm gonna grab my Kat Von D Saint and Sinner palette, because for some reason this green Exodus color is like calling me. So I think I'm gonna be using that. I don't know in what way. I usually don't know what I'm going to do makeup wise, and so we'll see if it ends up turning out looking like crap. I also have a mascara from Koki and a brand new contour and bronzer palette from Koki Cosmetics. So yeah, so we'll try those out and see what they're like. Okay, I'm going to get my powder on here and let's get started. So, SSSniperwolf, Leah, there's been some drama going on with her, and I'm not into gaming, but, oh, if you don't know who she is a 25-year-old, I just want to tie my hair back real quick, 25-year-old gamer, and she's, like, into cosplay and stuff. And she used to have this channel, the channel that I knew her from, because I'm not like super into gaming, but I knew her from her little Leah channel, where she had like a little DIY channel, and it was like super cute. And I really, I really liked her on that channel. I remember watching a video, I think it was like a do-it-yourself t-shirt dress or something like that. And I thought it was like super cute. She was adorable. And now she just seems to be one of the meanest people on the platform. Where to even start? The first sort of drama, aside from her just being like rude to other females, was an incident with a fellow gamer named FaZe Censor. And I think that what happened was like they were supposed to collab, and then something happened. She implied that he was like trying to get with her, and he has like a really beautiful girlfriend, and he was like, oh no, I'm not going to take her shit. He went as far as taking his old computer to the Verizon store to restore old messages between the two of them. And in those messages, Leah called FaZe Censor cute, kind of implied that her boyfriend or husband, Evan Sausage, that he kind of treats her badly and is kind of mean, possibly abusive, allegedly. So when that came out, she still denied that they were her messages. Deny. She said that somehow he fabricated them, and it was like all a bunch of bullshit, and we know that she was lying. And yeah, so that was kind of like one of the first like bits of drama that I remember hearing with her. And when I started, like, I knew that she was a gamer. When I think of female gamers, I think of her. And so when that drama happened, I was like, oh my God, she's the little Leah. She's from that channel. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that she was like this really mean person, because when I started to pay attention to her social media and to her YouTube channel that she has now, it's just a bunch of hypocrisy is really what it is. She is constantly tearing down other women, and it's heartbreaking. Anytime somebody has an issue with her, automatically, what does she say? They're just jealous. They're jealous of her. They're skanks. They're sluts. They're poor. They're losers. They're fat. They're ugly. Like, just all of these awful things. And, you know, if you catch her live streaming and somebody brings up a girl, or like if you happen to watch her channel, which is mostly like a reaction channel, that's what she does. She tears women down, and it's really sad. You know, she had mentioned that Alyssa Violet was like essentially sleeping around with people in LA, like YouTubers, to become like relevant. She said Summer Rae was essentially ugly and not a model. And one thing in particular that she always tends to say is, I didn't have to spend thousands of dollars to get my body to look like this. She denies that she's had plastic surgery. If you go back to her Little Leah do-it-yourself channel, you will see that she clearly has. And that's okay, you know? Why she denies it, I have no idea. She makes fun of what she calls insta-hoes. She makes fun of their poses, you know, being like sexy and provocative, even though she herself has taken pictures that are very provocative. She goes as far as lying about a person in a picture being her, even though in videos and in other pictures, you can see the same shoes, the same necklace, the same bra. She's like, that's not even me. I don't know why she's so delusional. I don't know why she is such a hypocrite. I remember reading that she like graduated high school early, and she was in college, and she said that she dropped out of school because she was bullied. Like, even professors were mean to her. She even says that all of the men there were hitting on her. That's the kind of girl that we're talking about here. Maybe she was bullied. I don't know. But every man wanting her is like a common theme. If they don't like her, if they make a video on her, oh, they're just jealous because they can't get with me, you know? And it's craziness. I just, you know, I don't know how somebody can be like so full of themselves like that, you know? And so I remember like thinking, you know, maybe she was bullied, and maybe that's why she ended up getting some plastic surgery. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're insecure, you know, and that stuff can really make a difference. You know, it can actually help a lot of people. And it's your body, and it's your money, and it's nobody's business as far as I'm concerned. My issue, however, is with her constant hate towards other women that do the same thing she does, that are also gamers, or that pose provocatively, or, you know, they stream in little clothing, they show off their breasts, you know, their cleavage and stuff. I mean, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Twitch is huge right now. There are a lot of female gamers on there that stream for like 6-7 hours a day in very little clothing, because they know that it'll get them, you know, views and subscriptions and stuff like that. That's just the way that it is. However, I think maybe her insecurity, because when people are when somebody's that mean towards other women, it does make them look really insecure, whether she would ever admit to it or not. It makes them look like they're the ones that are jealous. And maybe the insecurity doesn't stem from the way that these women look, but it's the fact that, like, I mean, she's been called a Call of Duty expert, you know? I mean, she is a legit gamer, and maybe she's like, all these, you know, hoes are coming onto platforms and streaming because they know that there's money in it, but maybe they're not like as legit as she is. Maybe she feels like she's the OG. She's the one that's actually into this stuff. And it bothers her when there are other women that are becoming or are just as popular as she is. Maybe that's what her insecurity kind of comes from. But I mean, it's like, just be true to yourself, you know? And I think at this point, she's like too much of a narcissist to really be able to have any type of like meaningful like self-reflection. But it would be like really awesome because, you know, she needs to realize that the way that she's acting is just disgusting. Along with her disgusting boyfriend, husband, I just don't know what he is. When anybody says anything about her, he tends, I have no idea what I'm doing here. Sometimes things look like shit before they're gonna look good. So let's hope it doesn't look too bad. Anytime somebody like kind of goes after her, especially another female, oh my God, he loses his shit. He has posted pictures of the other women, like tearing apart their bodies, like writing on there, like fat, you know, flabby stomach, and comparing them to Leah, which is like so crazy. I mean, there's always like another girl that's like just as pretty or prettier, you know? And it reminds me of like being a young, like a young teenage girl that's like insecure, you know, that needs to be like that boss bitch, you know? And it's like, you're 25 years old, like get over it, you know? And, but when Evan does that shit, I mean, I feel like if Leah was any type of like decent woman, she would like give him hell for that shit. Like, who the fuck is he to like say all these disgusting, derogatory things about women and tear their bodies apart? I mean, if you don't know what Evan Sausage looks like, then you can go right ahead and look him up. I'm just saying, like, who is he to be like body shaming people? It's like so disgusting. So, I mean, I feel like I just don't, I don't know. I feel kind of like, well, maybe this Evan guy has more control over her than like we realize. Maybe those messages to face censor, maybe there was like some truth in it. And maybe he sort of is controlling. Maybe she is kind of trapped. I don't know. What I also don't understand is why she talks so differently. If you watch the little Leah channel, she's like, has like this cute little like mousy voice, and she's talking about crafts and things. And then when you go to her new channel, she's like, yo, you be exposed. Why you so stupid? Like, I just don't understand, like, why she talks that way. Is she, like, trying to come off ignorant to, like, dumb things down to, like, get more views? Or what? Like, I just don't get it. And, you know, at this point, it's like, I can't be like, oh, you know, she's young and stupid. Because when you're that age, you have to own your shit. Yes, she uses filters in her videos. Yes, she, you know, photoshops or facetunes or whatever her photos. Nobody has eyes that big. Nobody has a body that perfect. But everybody does it. Everybody wants to look their best when they're showing themselves to the world. It's the fact that she never admits it that makes her such a hypocrite. And I cannot stand it. Oh, it just drives me crazy every time I hear her say, I didn't have to spend money to look this good. Well, you know, maybe her ass is like legit because apparently she has some kind of medical thing where like her butt sticks out. So maybe that's legit. But, you know, her chin is different. Her nose is different. And the thing is that there's nothing wrong with it, you know? As long as it makes her feel good, like, who cares if you get work done, you know? I mean, shit, I would probably get a little, like, lipo done, you know? Maybe raise up these boobies a little bit, because when you get to be 30, they go down a little bit, you know? And I'm 35, so they're inching closer and closer to the ground by the day. So, but my point is that if she would just own it and just be like, yes, you know, like, I've had work done. And maybe she could just be a person that doesn't have a social media presence for tearing women down. You know, I just wish that she was not like that, you know? And I just don't understand how people can even be that way. Like, you know the truth, and we know the truth. I mean, your chin doesn't look like that anymore. Your nose doesn't look like that anymore. But the thing is that it's okay. It is okay to get work done. It's okay if, like, you're kind of insecure, you know? Everybody is, you know? It's just recognizing your own flaws instead of projecting your own bullshit out to other women, which seems to be what she does quite often, you know? And then when Evan gets involved, it's like, forget about it. Like, if I'm married, if my husband went onto social media and he did something like that and he talked about another woman in that way or tore apart a woman's body like that for everybody to see because they both have, like, big followings, I would just die. I would be so embarrassed, so ashamed. I mean, I wouldn't even be with him anymore because that's some bullshit. You don't treat people that way. And the thing, too, with Evan is that, I mean, we don't really know how much of an influence he is or how their relationship really is behind closed doors. But my thing is like, if she's being pressured, if he is controlling or abusive or any of those things, if it is like that, it's like, girl, she needs to realize that he would not be shit without her. You know, she's the one that brings in the views. And, I mean, she has, like, 9 million subscribers. Like, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? And I'm just, like, sitting here, like, he just seems like such a douchebag. And we do only know what people show us as far as YouTubers or people on social media go. And from what we have seen, they're both pretty awful. But part of me wants to believe that if Leah could just get her shit together and realize that, like, she's projecting her own insecurities and that people are not jealous. Like, I mean, maybe there are some people that are, you know, I mean, there's a difference between being jealous and being like, oh, I wish I had her boobs, or, oh, I wish my butt looked like that. That's different. It comes across that she is legitimately jealous of these people, so she projects it onto them. That's why they're the ones that are jealous. They're jealous, you know, of everything about her, apparently, her appearance, her success, like everything. And it's just insane. I don't know. I just really don't like her. I just don't. I want to, you know what I mean? Like, I want to, I'm going to drag the Sabbath shade on the lash line a little bit here. I'm not very good at this. And do I have a smaller brush? Because that would work much better. These rainbow brushes are by Real Techniques, just in case you were wondering. And I do have a smaller smudge brush. Yes. Okay. So, you know, another thing about it too is that, like, I mean, it's okay, like, to admit that you Photoshop. It's okay to admit that you, like, Facetune or whatever. You know, we know that everything that we see on Instagram and stuff isn't, like, real. Like, we know that, you know, people that look perfect, like, most likely they have, you know, Photoshopped. And there's nothing wrong with other women wanting to be successful in gaming. I mean, even if they're not as legitimately into it as she is, it's like they're still doing the same thing as you, girl. Like, you cannot be such a hypocrite. As long as these women are doing this consensually and, you know, like, they're making a living and stuff, I mean, that's their prerogative. Like, that's just the way that it is. I'm trying to put a little bit of this in the inner corner and bottom lash line here. I'm not sure what I've done here. But anyway, you know, aside from Evan seem like he is just horrible, there is one thing that I think nobody really talks about. I'm going to go in with Kat Von D tattoo liner and Trooper, and I'm just going to keep this like really close to my lash line. I'm not particularly like very good at a wing, and I already messed this up a bit. Okay, so one thing that I don't hear a lot of people talk about, or I mean maybe people have talked about it and I just haven't heard anybody talk about it, is that with the success of Twitch, with the success of these online like gamers, these streamers, you know, with all of this going on, and like I feel like she's one of like these OGs of like gaming. Like I said, when I think about her now, I think of gaming and cosplay and all that kind of stuff. And I really feel like what would have been absolutely amazing would be for these women that are like up and coming in the gaming industry. If, I mean, Leah could be this person. I'm rather liking this Koki Cosmetics mascara, by the way. What I think would have been amazing, and maybe she could turn it around, I'm not really sure at this point, is that she could have been the one. She could have been the one to show like this solidarity in the community. She could be one to like, I'm going into this shade here. She could be the one, you know, that stood up for these women and supported them and, you know, created like, I love that this has a mirror, by the way, created like this solidarity between these women in this community where like, you know, they were kind of standing together, you know. I mean, imagine if they had some of these women that just like dog on each other, like streaming together, you know, like how many views that they would get, how much money, you know, they could make. But instead, it's like this war, you know, who's hotter, who's bringing in more views, who's more popular, who has the biggest boobs. Like, I just don't understand it, because all of them are rather attractive, you know. I don't like to say Twitch thoughts. That's something that I find to be like pretty horrible, only because I feel like, you know, just because, I don't know, like a lot of women do make money off of their bodies. And, I mean, I just feel like as long as it's consensual, it's not that big of a deal. So that term, I mean, it kind of sucks. But at the same time, I did drop my lipstick. At the same time, what's interesting is that a lot of these women that get offended by the phrase Twitch thoughts call each other Twitch thoughts. Like, what are you doing? How are you supposed to be better? And how are you supposed to act like you don't want to be objectified and you don't, like, you're not here for that, yet you're calling each other that kind of shit. You don't want to be objectified, but you're objectifying other women. That's what is getting me, you know? And I don't think that Leah would change, but it would be so fucking cool to see this community have like this sort of alliance, like this sort of, you know, we're gonna kind of stick together and like fuck these dudes that are trying to tear us apart, you know, especially Evan. It really just gets on my nerves. I'm gonna go in with the Refresh Hydrating Setting Spray, long lasting, from Koki. This was like, I think $8.99 down at Rite Aid. Where is, okay, I almost sprayed that take down some of that powdery feeling or look to it. Okay, here's the look. Kind of weird, a little bit different, but hey, that's what we came up with. So, excuse me, I'm still getting over my cold. So in conclusion, I feel like, you know, Leah could have been this amazing force in this community, but instead she chooses to tear everybody down. I find her to be super hypocritical. It's like I want to like her, you know, but she's like one of those girls that I feel like they know that they're attractive, so they think everybody's intimidated by them. You know what I mean? But usually if I feel intimidated by a girl, it's because she looks like she's really mean. It's not based on being more beautiful or anything. I just feel like, you know, with everything that women have to deal with, and I'm not trying to get all feminist, I'm just saying it would be so nice to see women just support each other more and uplift each other. And I know that me saying that she's a hypocrite is sort of contradicting my whole point. I'm just trying to, you know, make her realize, like, you don't have to be this way, and you may even grow more. And if you were to, like, collab with some of these women, my God, I mean, imagine that. I mean, that would be something. Like, it's just crazy. I just hope that she starts owning her own shit and stops being so goddamn miserable towards everybody and degrading, you know? It feels just awful, you know? And, yeah, so those are my opinions on SSSniperwolf. I would love to hear what you guys think of her. Are you a fan? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? What do you think is her deal? Like, is she just, like, totally lacking any type of self-awareness, or is this just all her own insecurities? What do you think? Do you think that, you know, she could kind of change it around? How would you feel, you know, to see kind of like this solidarity in the gaming community? I'm not a part of the gaming community. I mean, I see bits and pieces here and there, and I have friends that like, you know, watching gaming, like streamers. So, I mean, but if some of them could collab together and get along and be decent women, I would watch that. I mean, I'm just saying, like, that's my opinion. So yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love and hugs. Bye.